Hey, yo, what it is and what's good, y'all? Welcome back to 280 Plus. I'm your host, Los Def, and I'm here with another recap of The Shy. And before we get too far ahead, right? Before we get too far ahead, don't panic, right? Like French Montana said, don't panic, right? Because there will not be an episode of The Shy next week. All right. So if you're looking for me, if you're looking for the show, and then if you're looking for me afterwards, there will not be an episode next week because we just experienced the mid-season finale. So that's the thing. That's crazy. I'm doing a recap. I'm doing all these recap episodes for The Shy, and I don't even know when it's on TV, whatever. But yeah, so I found out that this season is actually 16 episodes, right? And I'm still very confident that this is the last season. However, when I look up stuff, when I do my research, I keep seeing like a season 7 is always like a top search. Like it's one of the top things that search. And there's like always like a little speculation, but there's nothing confirmed that there is a season 7. Like this is supposed to be the last season. Now, if this season is 16 episodes, like it is supposed to be, right? Then that would make sense why this is the last season, whatever. Before we keep going, but you know what? Because I've been reading a lot of different things. And some other things make sense too, whatever. So I've read something that said that Kevin, the actor that plays Kevin, that he's leaving the show, which we see him in this episode, like, right, he's going to LA, right? And then I was thinking, like, well, how is he leaving the show if it's only going to be like two more episodes left, whatever? But well, if this is a 16 episode season, it makes sense, and this makes sense why they did this arc for him, to kind of leave during this episode, whatever. And this episode was very action packed. If you guys noticed that, this was action packed. So there, and it makes sense now because all right, this was like a baby finale. All right. So there's no release date yet on the second half of season 6, but stay tuned, and you know what I mean, I'll be the first ones to let you know, give you some type of preview when that does come out. And we're gonna resume the recaps just like we have been. All right. We're gonna try to stay consistent with this, and push through. All right. So let's get into this episode. All right. So and this episode, I kind of want to just like it's basically, I took my pictures that, low key, like, I mean, I have photos for this episode. Yeah, I mean, that I'm be inserting in here. And I kind of just took notes based off of things that I seen in a scene, right? Instead of like trying to go character or like different plot points. So we're just gonna kind of run through some things as we kind of go through. So first reaction, I was like, Miracle Whip? Hell no, Emmett. You know what I'm saying? So there's a scene where he's making a sandwich and him and Kiesha ain't really talking or whatever. And he asks her where the Miracle Whip is. And now let me tell y'all this, right? So I thought that I was the only person that ate Miracle Whip as a kid, right? And it was because my dad used to buy that shit. Like he used to buy Miracle Whip, and that's what I thought sandwiches had to have on it. You know what I mean? I used to think that. Now Miracle Whip is called a salad dressing, and it kind of makes sense when you make like, if you would make like a potato salad or macaroni salad. And I'm not, time out. Don't cancel me, or don't get on my case and be like, oh, you use Miracle Whip for your potato salad, macaroni salad. I'm not saying I do. Or tuna salad. I'm not saying I do. I'm saying it makes sense. Like it makes sense. Like that little bit of sweet tanginess. Like I could see you doing that, whatever, right? But yeah, I grew up on Miracle Whip and thinking that it was kind of like the same thing as mayonnaise. It wasn't until like I would go occasionally back in the day, and like I grew up, you know what I mean? I'm an 80s baby, but I grew up in the 90s. So, you know what I mean? Going to Subway was a treat. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't as popular as it is now. Like going to Subway was a treat, whatever. And I just know that I used to love subs because they had mayo on it. Like I used to be like, yo, what is this stuff? Like on this sandwich, like what is this? And they're like, oh, it's mayonnaise, whatever. And I'm like, I fucking love mayonnaise because I hate Miracle Whip, whatever. So like going to a sub place, any type of sub place was always a treat because I knew that they had a little bit of mail. And then we started adopting and like and like buying mail in the house, and then mail just became a regular thing. That's why like I don't even understand the whole I remember the movie Undercover Brother, which that's a pause worthy title actually, but that was a comedy flick. Was that late 90s, early 2000s with Eddie Griffin. And basically there's a scene where it's talking about how like black people don't like mayonnaise. And I'm like, I don't know that to be true. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like black people like mayonnaise. Like I don't know that black people not using mayonnaise on stuff, whatever. But that was like a whole like it was just kind of going off this urban legend or this myth that black people don't do that. But this nigga asked it for Miracle Whip, and I was like, Miracle, like people actually eat that. Like I thought I didn't think people actually ate that. I thought I was like the only one that was putting that on my sandwiches. You know what I mean? Now it doesn't fix nothing in terms of what was already done. But shout out to Emmett for kind of standing up to Kiesha and letting her know, like, yo, like you go behind my back and talk to Nuck, like that's not a cool thing. I mean, I know he said that in the previous episode, but he kind of reiterated that. And then we see them have some makeup sex, you know what I'm saying? And that might be one of the first times, like I ain't the first time this season, whatever. Like this might be the second time this season that they had any type of intimacy after an argument. And then it just oh my god, yo, Kiesha is like, yo, she's low key, she's unbearable, like she's unbearable, whatever. And you know what I mean, because he's mad that she went behind his back to talk to Nuck, whatever. I mean, and he, she put it on him, and he's like, ooh, I forgive you. And she was like, that wasn't an apology, whatever. Like, we still got problems that we got to work out, la, 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 whatever. She was like, that was a thank you for taking off work next week. And I'm like, live in the moment a little bit, right? Why can't it be both? Why can't it be I forgive you and an apology? Why can't it, why, you know what I mean? Why can't it be, yeah, an apology and a thank you? Like, why can't it be both? Why does it have to be one of the two things? Like, oh my god, like she would burn me out. This is my girl. If she was my girl, she would burn me the fuck out. Like I would, like it would be. And the thing is, like I said, they the house, they got the kids together, they got all these things like intertwined, whatever. It makes it hard to leave. I'm not saying that you should just jump and leave a relationship, whatever, but like she makes it hard, man. She makes it hard. I think she's a lovable woman, but she makes it hard to probably love her. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, let's keep moving on. Yeah, that's all I said in my notes. I was like, oh my god, this girl don't never live in the moment ever. You know what I mean? So yeah, moving on. We get a scene where Rashad is volunteering, right? Like he's in there and he sees Tierra. Oh my god! And I said this. I wrote this in my notes. I was like, yo. First off, Rashad is worrying about the wrong things, right? So he sees Tierra. She's talking to Marcus, and they're doing their thing, and he's just in the wings, just like looking like a creep. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of reminiscing about her or whatever. And then he texts her this like, oh, Tierra. Yeah, I mean, basically like I'm getting over you, yo. Let's let that one night be a one night thing. Like I'm over you now, right? So that's the message that he sends, whatever. And I said to myself, I said, yo, I said, why is he sending this? Like, one, he worried about the wrong things at the wrong time. Like you in the doghouse with your girl, and then you see this girl that you had a one night stand with. You know what I'm saying? She's not worried about you at all, and you worried about that when you need to figure out your employment. You need to figure out, you know what I mean? Can you get your girl to trust you again? And he worried about that. And then he sends this text. And I said to myself, this is what I said to myself. I said, yo, I said, man, he gonna get caught up with that text, thinking that he's gonna leave it in his phone, and then his girl's gonna like go through his phone for whatever reason because she wants to know the facts and things like that. Fam, what do you know? What do you know? And then because we could skip to what happens at the end, whatever. What do you know? Yeah, I mean, and he has this conversation later on in the episode with Tierra. Is like, yo, how you gonna leave me on red? And she's like, what are you talking about? He like, yo, I sent you this message. He look at his phone. He sent the message that he meant to send to Tierra. He sent it to Deja. He sent it to his woman. So this nigga come back to the house. His stuff is already packed. And once he goes in there, and I wonder where she was, whatever, but she liked his message, whatever. So she already saw it. You know what I mean? She gathered, you know what I mean, what it was. And then well, and that's the thing. Did she see it earlier, or did she see it when he came into the house? You know what I'm saying? Because did she have his stuff packed because of the guns, or did she have his stuff packed because of the message, whatever? I'm thinking that it was like on some passive aggressive. I'm gonna like it after the fact. I wonder if she was even in the house. Like that's the thing too. I was wondering if she was in the house and if she was just kind of being petty. So um but yeah, let me let's move on though. Let's move on. But yeah, Rashad is a mess, man. And I don't know. I don't feel bad for him, man. I think I was sympathizing with him at first. I don't feel bad for him now. Now that we know that we got like 8 more episodes, it kind of opens up the show a little bit. Now maybe we can get some redemption from him. But I was thinking like, yo, this season is going, it's almost gone, and nothing's happening for him. So he has a whole second half of this season to kind of to get in a better place, but it's not looking too good right now, man. Right now. So continuing on. You know what I mean? We get, Kevin is moving out of his apartment, and this is like, like I said, the actor, he's leaving the show, and it's a big moment, you know what I mean? He's packing his things and everything like that. And obviously there's a scene with the 3 boys, and it just I and you could tell too that it was like he was leaving the show, because one thing that they did well in this episode was they did the montages. I mean, they did the flashbacks. And so anytime you would see Kevin, you would like he would be going through a flashback, because to show you like how his growth or whatever. And so like, yeah, you see the 3 boys. Like I love seeing those flashbacks of the boys, because that's what I'm saying. Like the way they did time in this, I don't really think they're based how it is linear. I don't think they are necessarily senior age, because the first season, I swear they looked like they was in 4th grade, 5th grade, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that as much time has passed for them to be seniors in high school, but they were like little boys, like they were little tiny little guys. And one thing I would just say though too, and it's dope, So Jake is gonna take over his apartment. So we're seeing Jake kind of come into his own, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Jake's apartment, or new apartment coming up. But I thought it was dope. Kevin's like, yeah, let's. I'd rather go to one of my boys than a stranger. Housing is probably crazy out there in Chicago anyway. But the show has evolved. If y'all remember, man, this show has evolved so much, especially through the eyes of those boys, right? Because when you see them, they're riding their, like they had that scene where they're riding their bikes and they show the flashbacks, whatever. And early on in the show, the streets seemed so much more violent and so much more hectic, like through their eyes, through their lens. Like it was like being outside was not a safe proposition for them. You know what I mean? Like either they were going to be solicited by drug dealers, or they was going to have to dodge, gun violence and things like that, and just stay out the way. And it's interesting how the show has evolved. The show is completely different from season 1, but it's evolved into this place where there's a lot of hope in the show, you know what I mean? And then also too, like when you're small and when you're young, everything does seem a little bit scarier. Everything does seem a little bit more hectic, whatever. Now that they have purpose in their lives, you're able to stay away from the riffraff. I mean, you're able to stay away from the things that don't serve you, whatever. So that's why we're not seeing like, the violent, like obviously not the show has also changed, whatever, but we're not seeing the same element of violence, and they're not scared, like they're comfortable, like they're just reminiscing and riding bikes through the streets. When they was little, they was riding bikes through the streets, but like looking around over their shoulders, and hoping that they get to their next destination, because everything was like a little bit wild out there, you know what I'm saying, Chirac type stuff. So yeah, I thought that was interesting, man, like how they've evolved and how they showed that evolution, man. And again, a great show. This is a great show. And then yeah, let's get into this first. So with Jake taking on Kevin's apartment, we have that scene where he's basically holding Gemma off, and it's like because he started talking to her about it, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm about to move, like, oh yeah, I cannot wait to move in. And I don't like how Gemma I don't like how she jumps to conclusions and like she just wants to be grown. Like she thinks she's grown. She wants to be grown. And she's like, what do that look like? My I'm living at home and my boyfriend got his own place. It looks like you're a fucking teenager. You know what I mean? It looks like you're, um not ready to live with your boyfriend, whatever. And Jake is just the voice of reason, whatever. And he's like, this is not our place. Like, this ain't a place for us. This is a place for me. And obviously, I knew she was gonna be slighted, but he could have just, as a boyfriend, I would have just told her, like, all right, yeah, like, of course, you're gonna spend the night with me sometimes or whatever. But like, this is my space, this is my living space. This is not for you, this is not for us. And then just being the voice of reason is like, yo, we're too young to be to be living together. And she talking about withholding sex and things like that. And it's like it does make me a little bit uncomfortable talk them like hearing these younger people talk about fucking and things like that, whatever. But it's like, again, she thinks she grown. Although that's very immature, whatever, where she's like, oh, well, maybe I don't want to fuck you no more. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't want to have sex with you no more because you don't want to live with me. And it's like, that's not even the same thing. Now, Jake probably could have, again, he could have delivered certain things a little bit like, oh, yo, no, like, I don't know if it's time for us to move in yet, whatever, but no, you definitely gonna spend the night. We definitely gonna have sleepovers. But like he could have let her down easy. But at the same time, the way she talks, she just be like she'll just keep spinning the narrative, and it's like, nah, shorty, like you gotta stop with all that. But um another girl that's wilding though. Oh my god, what is Kiesha doing? What is Kiesha doing? She wilding out. She meeting with Nuck, right? And Nuck, this is how you know that conversation was egregious. Like that's how you know this meeting was egregious. And he gonna start. The first thing he gonna say is when she get in the car with him. The first thing he gonna say is, "Hey, yo, I know we not together." Dog, y'all ever really together? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was, I mean, like she was fucking you, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all had like a little thing, whatever, but like y'all wasn't really a couple. And she get in your car, and the first thing you gonna say is, yeah, I know we not together. Yeah, time out, bro. You don't got no say in nothing, bro. You wilding right now. You disrespected my man Emmett. I don't as a viewer, I don't appreciate it. And I don't appreciate Kiesha meeting up with you. You know what I'm saying? Only at the kindness of her heart that she's meeting with you. And like, what do y'all want to talk about? Whatever. And um, basically, he just I guess he's trying to shoot his shot at her a little bit, and she's just like, this ain't cool. Like, I can't even really be seen with you. Just take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and kind of leaves them at that, whatever. But like, I just thought that was like, I thought it was just like she put herself in a compromised position, and this dude is wilding. Like, this dude is wilding. Like, bro, there's mad girls in Chicago. Get your own girl, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get your own. I mean, why haven't they? And what is this? Like, are y'all trying to set it up to where like she's gonna start messing with him again? Like, what was the reason for that? So yeah, that was wild. That was wild. And then yeah, speaking with Gemma, then going back to her, she's in the studio, and then this Bakari, I said his name. I've been disclaimer. I've been calling Bakari Jabari like every episode this season. I've been calling Bakari's sister. I guess her name is Brittany, which that makes sense. Brittany Bakari. Bakari's sister gives Gemma $10,000, whatever, so she can move into her place. And like, I don't know, that sister, man, she's like, she gives me shady vibes. You know what I mean? And I think that's what her character is here for, like to just be a foil for something, like just to kind of throw a wrench into people's shit. But she just randomly transferred her $10,000, whatever. So we know that this girl hasn't been living where she's been living, and then based on what Bakari was saying, like you could tell that she's been up to some stuff, but it's like, where the hell did she get 10K from to be able to give it to what's it called? Like, and I'm like, yo, this is a scam. This is like when they be talking about, like, you ever see that joint on Instagram, they be like, oh, yo, let's turn 100 into 1,000, whatever. And the way I understand that some of these scams work is like, I don't really know how they work, whatever, but like people be talking about like how they'll have these like big sums of money in their accounts, and then but it's fraudulent. Like there's some type of fraud involved in that. And I what I mean, obviously, it has Gemma's dad on the alert. Like he's like, did you do anything illegal? No, Gemma didn't do nothing illegal, but I'm telling you, that money is not real money. Like it's real, it's there, it's probably there, whatever, but there's some fraud attached to that money. That was definitely turn 1,000 into $10,000 type money. Like I don't know where she got that, but she don't seem to be like too straight necessarily, too well off on her own. But to be able to give somebody $10,000 and then to say, and I never heard of this before. I never heard of a person paying their agent ahead of time. You don't give your agent in advance. I've never heard of that. Whatever. So she's like, well, 10% of 10K is 10% of 100K. So how are we gonna make that back? So it's like, yeah, somehow they're gonna come up with some type of scheme where her music is gonna blow up so much that she's gonna get $100,000. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. And then that is where my notes left off. Unfortunately, but I have some I have some I do have some photos that I can kind of go off of to where we're at. So okay. So then this episode, then we get the scene where we'll go back to the party, whatever. But yeah, we do get the scene where Emmett and Rob decide to ride out. Now they try to meet up with Vic and they try to, ask him for some help. I said in the last episode that Papa is going to go after justice, and there are going to be people that are going to be more on the, I guess, the straight and narrow path of and looking for alternative ways to get rid of Douda. But then there are going to be the people that are trying to be gooned out and trying to do stuff. So Bakari is part of that gooned out crew. Rob is part of that. You know, I would say those two pretty much, whatever. But they got Emmett, Rob got Emmett involved in trying to be gooned out. They ride up on them and they have the perfect opportunity, man. They had the perfect opportunity. And one, he can't shoot for shit. You know what I'm saying? I love how Vic, like, really, it's funny because, you see Amon Shumpert, and Amon can carry himself well. Like, he don't look like he's bitch, like, he don't look like he's no punk, whatever. But it's just funny seeing this guy that's like, feels like half his size, telling him like, yo, you not no street dude, man. You might be tall, but you ain't no street dude, whatever. And then like just the like, come on, man, like the scoff, like come on, man, like stop trying to play me. But yeah, they ride out, and that him is like, you better not miss. And what does he do? He misses like 8 times. Almost got him, almost clipped him, and then of course the gun jams. And I'm thinking like, you ain't got no extra ammo, you ain't got nothing. Like the gun just gonna jam on you. Like that's it. Like that's all we're gonna do. And yeah, so they don't complete the mission. Douda doesn't know who exactly it is, but I'm thinking right after that scene, I was like, yo, Douda's smart, man. He's gonna go like figure out if anybody has a gunshot wound or anything like that in the hospital. Now, Rob has a mom that's pretty street savvy, and you know what I mean? So she's gonna make sure that don't nothing go crazy. But then we get the scene where they are in the hospital, and Tiffany has that run in with Rob's mom, and basically like she sets it on Tiffany, and she's like, yo, I mean, you know, and she's mad at her son because she's like, yo, why are you telling our business? Like we don't do that. Like this is street life. Like we don't talk about what we're doing. Basically kicks Tiffany out of the hospital room, and then Tiffany's just kind of left there wondering and guessing and trying to figure out like how she can still help her man in this position, whatever, right? But all this is going on while they're having a farewell party for Kevin. And again, it's just that culmination of everybody trying to say their goodbyes to him. You got a lot of reminiscing, and I think Kevin is ready, but it's gonna be weird because we're probably like I said, he's leaving the show, so we're probably not. We might not get that long distance relationship type thing. Like we might not actually see it too much. I wonder when they reboot for the second half of the season if time is gonna elapse. I don't know. Like I'm wondering if that's gonna be the case. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm trying to think. Do I have anything else? Do I have anything else? No. Yeah, that was pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much where it kind of stands and where it's kind of left off at. We didn't really see Bakari in this episode. It makes sense that there's 8 more episodes because now we're gonna see that. I think we're gonna see that that Dre plot, that Dre arc develop with her ex-fiance and then Nina. I think we're gonna see a little bit of that. I think yes, I forgot this episode we do see Darnell trying to basically end things with Douda, trying to give them the money, you know what I mean? So Emmett's not under control, under Douda's control, and it doesn't work, you know what I mean? Like he only got like half of the money that he owes him, and then he kind of wants Darnell to do some things, whatever. And it's like, no, you can't get into bed with Douda. You cannot do no favors for this guy, man, because then you're indebted to him, and then once you're indebted to him, it's his way or the highway. So somebody got to take him out. Again, I think it could be Darnell. It could be Darnell, but I think it's gonna be Bakari. I don't like how, he talked, Lynn Whitfield, Rob's mom, she was talking to Douda. Well, I kind of like it, I guess, but she's talking to his new little lieutenant, his new little enforcer, and trying to figure out how to kind of poach him from his organization. But really dope episode. Again, don't look for it. Don't look for it next week. Don't look for me next week. This will be the last one for a couple months. I think it's gonna come back in 2024. Hopefully the top of 2024. Like we talking January, February. Hopefully the very top. I'm disappointed, but I'm a little bit excited because I do need a little bit of a break because I'm doing this. I'm doing my regular podcast, and then I'm about to do another recap podcast called Recap and Record. It is with my co-host Levi McCurdy of the What Are We Doing podcast, and I think we are doing Love Is Blind. All right, so if you are into like dating shows and things like that, we are going to be recapping Love Is Blind. You can catch my regular content on Wednesdays or Thursdays here on YouTube, also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. The recaps though are exclusively any recap that I'm doing on the Shy is exclusively here on YouTube. So if you know anybody that likes this show as well, that's really into it, have them give it a go. Have them check out the podcast, and yeah, that's it, man. So this is another episode of Twitty Plus, the Shy Recap, episode 8, mid-season finale. Yeah, so just so y'all remember that. All right, I'm out, y'all. Peace.